big pushes this year for the youth in our city definitely revolve around attendance. Everyone seen the empty chairs in the city? Okay, so Barbara's going to come up in a minute to talk about that. Youth violence prevention, where we did tremendous work in this group during Youth Violence Prevention Week and also during Absolutely Incredible Kid Day. So those are going to be really big pushes for this group, how we can really take reins of that and get everyone involved. And it was really nice to see it across the city, not just in the schools, but in all the agencies that are serving our youth. But without further ado, I'd like to call up Barbara Allard. She is leading the charge with our Attendance Matters campaign in this city. The task force started meeting last year, has been really hard at work, and now we're really looking to launch it all. So,
good morning. For the past year, there have been there's been the mayor's task force on attendance, and I think we have 45 members, and approximately 25 to 30 people show up every month. And we work very hard to fight chronic absenteeism throughout the community. Our focus this past year was communicating the urgency of chronic attendance, as well as getting informational, what's going around now, these handouts for parents and community members on the importance of attendance, some of the data on our personal attendance here in Fall River. And not last year, we don't have the data back yet, but the year before, 1/3 of our children were chronically absent. And what that means is 18 or more days per year absent. And unfortunately, 18 is a low number when we're talking about our chronically absent kids. It's more like 20 to 30 days in a school year that they're out of school. Our younger kids, K to 2, their chronic absenteeism is through the roof, over 33%, and our high school. So it's both ends of the spectrum that we need to really focus on and plan some really effective strategies for reaching those two populations, because they're very different. K to 2, they do not get themselves dressed and get themselves to school. So that's a real focus on educating parents to the importance of school, even if it's just 2 days per month. Some parents think, well, I'll keep him home this week, he goes to school next week, the week after, I'll keep him home the following week. Well, those add up to 18 or more days. That's a chronically absent student. That's a lot of education to miss in 1 year, and if it continues, which it typically does, year after year, you know, our kids have some serious gaps and are in some serious trouble as far as their learning and lifelong success. So we're educating parents. We came up with this brochure. It's really a guide for parents, helpful hints on how to get your child to school, some of the research that shows what can happen to your student, to your child if they miss a lot of school, why attendance is important, and we have these translated in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And we're getting them out with all of the red chairs. How many people have seen the red chairs? I'm just interested. You've seen them. They're in all the schools, K to 12. They are at the YMCA, the Children's Museum, Bank, City Hall. Christian has painted chairs and continues to paint chairs, looking for more chairs. And he is putting them everywhere in the city, and I'm trying to follow them with the posters and the brochures. But this is an example, upside down. This is an example of one of our logo, which was actually created by a Durfee student. We gave him, we told them, do something with an empty chair. We like that kind of, you know, that thought, and they actually came up with this logo, and then we just tweaked the wording. You know, what are you doing to fill the empty chair? And really that's, it takes a village kind of thinking that we want to get out there, because everyone can have an effect on getting a child to school. And so you're going to see these everywhere. We're thinking of more and more places to put this. People are asking me questions about it, so it's working. So really, I mean, that's what did I forget anything? The next, do we have a next meeting?
Thursday.
Thursday, 8:30 at the Cuss School in the community room. Actually, it's either going to be in the community room or the library, but they're side by side basically. Thursday morning, 8:30 to 10. So if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. This year, our priority is we're going to continue the communication because we've got lots more ideas. and Christian just won't stop. We're constantly getting emails about, oh, what do you think if we do this? We're trying to promote the pediatricians to make the appointments before and after school if possible. We know that's not always possible, but if it is a midday appointment, to really encourage the parents to get them back to school. That, 2 hours of learning, they're going to miss a lot in those 2 hours. So we're really going to help, ask them to help us educate parents. As Wendy just said, I thought that was really great what you just said. They listen to you, they look up to you and listen to you about the health of their child, the health and physical health, the well-being of their child. But
so we want it included in the same way they say your child needs X amount of hours of sleep, they need X amount of hours of physical activity. We want them to also include the school information as part of that. And we also, one of the things we found out when we asked the attendance question at our parent cafes is that many parents did not send their kids to school when it was rainy or snowy because they would get germs and get sick. So we want to correct that and let people know that we don't get sick because it rains, we get sick because we don't have enough sleep and we're wore down and we catch germs. So we're looking to the pediatricians at St. Anne's to help us with this.
So they don't even attend, so they're at home and they're taking care of responsibilities of the family. So
that's a very good point, and that was brought up last night. So please join us at the next meeting on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning at CUS. Please stay posted before you leave. Thank you.
Okay, so we only have about probably like 10 or 15 minutes. We're not going to go too deep into the goals that we want to set for this group today. We just kind of want to get a little bit of a discussion going so Michaela and I can have some concrete points that we can bring up for our next meeting, which will be more in-depth goal setting. So all we want you to do is really turn to your neighbor. We'll give you about 5 or 7 minutes to discuss any trends you saw this summer as far as problems with the young people in the city, anything that you think is going really well that we're doing in the city. Just a brief informal discussion about what you think should be a focus for this group this year. Ready, set, go.